Alright, BobalosRex here. In today's video is what's going on with 10.1. So we got a launch date. I was actually pretty close with my estimation. I was thinking it would come out the 9th, but it's actually coming out right on the 2nd, right at the end of the time walking extravaganza, which is really cool. We're just going to be doing time walking and then boom, right into 10.1. And this is the post where they talk about it and this week. So mark your calendars. So I'm going to go over everything that's coming out. I'm going to read through this stuff, talk about what's going on with the new patch, and my thoughts and opinions. So let's take a look. So I did get the start date of the season though, because March 9th is when the season, or May 9th. May, not March. Oh my god, if I was saying March, sorry. So, mark your calendars. Embers of Neltharion goes live May 2nd. We got a cool shot of the raid here. Join your allies for continuing adventures through the Dragon Isles. For their next content update, you'll explore an all-new zone, meet new allies, discover hidden treasures, and more. New zone, Zarla Caverns. Gather your courage as you venture into this mysterious underground cavern. Cross-faction guilds. This is when that comes out. Players who've been enjoying cross-faction instances can now join the same guild as their opposite faction friends and benefit from conveniences like shared chat and guild repairs. That's good. Fyrakk assaults. Fyrakk forces are gathering resources at suffusion camps located in the Azure Span and Narn Plains. It's up to Heroes of Azeroth to disrupt their efforts to lure Fyrakk and his disciples out. I haven't done those yet. I need to try them out. Or, I've been to one. That was it. Meet new allies. As the Heroes of Azeroth pursue enemies into the dangers of Zarla Cavern, they are aided by the local inhabitants found under the Dragon Isles, the Molefolk, known as the Niffin, and the Drogbar, and more. Dun dun dun. Dragonflight Season 2. Dragonflight Season 2 begins the week of May 9th. Players will be able to gather their allies and breach Neltharion's secret laboratory in normal, heroic, and mythic difficulty. New season also brings a new PvP ladder and gear, seasonal affixes, and new dungeons to the Mythic Plus rotation. This is the end of This is the end of seasonals. Brackenhide Hollow, Halls of Infusion, Uldaman, Legacy of Tyr, Nelthris, Freehold from BFA, Underrot from BFA, Vortex Pinnacle from Cataclysm, and Neltharion's Lair from Legion. Aberrus, the Shadowed Crucible Raid. Breach Neltharion's secret laboratory hidden within Zarla Caverns. It is here that he created the Drakthir and ultimately succumbed to the whispers of the old gods and their corruption. Raid release schedule week of May 9th. Normal, heroic, and mythic difficulties become available. More details to follow on Raid Finder schedule. Hopefully they push Raid Finder up, because Raid Finder is getting blasted. Join the PTR to explore the latest content and testing. Yep, that's what I've been doing. And read the current Dragonflight Embers of Neltharion PTR development notes on the test forum. That's what I got there. We'll have more coverage on the new content update as we lead up to launch. Yeah, see, that's what I'm working on. So, news and events this week. They're talking about this week. That's when they posted this for a post about this week. So, April 2nd to 8th, it's Darkmoon Fair. Make sure you do your professions if you're watching this, if you haven't. April 4th, we got the Timeways, Mists. April, more time walking every week now into the patch. It's going to be time walking. Weekly bonus event, Arena Skirmish, PvP Brawl, Shadowpan Showdown, WoW Spring Deals. April 5th, March of the Tadpoles, Micro Holiday. I think there's some of trading post stuff for that. And then April 7th, Blues News. Interesting. I don't know what that is. So there's a lot going on in April. Hearthstone's coming out soon too. But let's look over these PTR patch notes. So let's go over what they're adding. So World of Warcraft 10.1 PTR Embers of Neltharion. So we got new zone, Zarlek Cavern. Zarlek Cavern's world quest, objectives, rares, and dragon riding are available for testing. The new underground zone is located on the eastern side of the Narn Plains, just outside Valdrakken. It's just outside Valdrakken, let me tell you. Players may access the zone by flying through the tunnel, leading to a new zone, Zarlek Cavern. The Embers of Neltharion campaign is now available for testing. There's some bugs with it. I was testing a little bit. I have my stream VODs up. World bosses, Vakan and Golna, are now available for testing. So those are the new world bosses. I don't know what item level they drop right now. Fyrakk assaults. Fyrakk forces are gathering resources at suffusion camps located in the Azure Span and Narn Plains. Disrupt their efforts to lure Fyrakk and his disciples out. Alright, that's the new events, kind of like the Primal Storms. But they're Fyrakk Storms. Alright, new raid, Aberrus, the Shadowed Crucible. Millennia ago, Neltharion carved deep places in the earth where he conducted world-altering experiments. After his death, these sites were lost to time until now. Forces seek to claim the Earth Warder's legacy, raid his dominion in search for powerful artifacts. Now the champions of Azeroth must venture into darkness and ensure the Crucible's dangerous power doesn't fall into the wrong hands. I did a little react to the bosses, kind of like when I was looking at them, seeing what's up with them. That video's out. Aberrus and the Shadow Crusader feature 9 boss encounters. Khazara the Hellforged, the Amalgamation Chamber, the Forgotten Experiments, Assault of the Zakali, Rashok the Elder, the Okay, so it's Khazara the Hellforged, the Amalgam Chamber, the Forgotten Experiments, the Assault of the Zakali, Rashok the Elder, the Vigilant Steward, Ziskarn, Magmorax, Echo of Neltharion, and then the final boss, Scale Commander Sarkareth. Raid testing begins this Thursday, March 16th. View PTR rating schedule for more details. So if you want to be a part of that, I may try to get on for that. Wait, it's not even March. Oh my god, this is so old. Oh my god. There's raid testing going on. I do need to check out that, though. Crucible class armor sets. Death Knight, Havoc, Demon Hunters, Druid, Mage, Brewmaster, Holy Paladin, Protection class armor sets are available for testing. Okay, they've been testing the armor sets on the PTR too. So the new tier. Dragonflight Season 2. The remaining Dragonflight dungeons will enter the fray. So now we got all the dungeons up for testing, except for Vortex Pinnacle. Alright, so the only one still not, maybe this is out because this post is old. So you got the new M+ dungeons here that are coming out for Season 2. They're up for testing. Seasonal affixes are, the new seasonals are up for testing, so they've been going out. We're going to talk about that right here. So there's no seasonal affix going forward currently. Dragonflight Season 2 Mythic Plus testing has begun. They're fixing some issues here. You have Vortex Pinnacle. So the new affixes we got is Incorporeal. While in combat, incorporeal beings appear and attempt to destabilize players with spells that reduce their damage and healing done. Corporeal beings are susceptible to all forms of crowd control. So I think this is interesting. I do think they're like healer focused, so I'm not too into M+. I do it. I get my KSM, but I'm not an expert on it, so my opinion is based on like casual play. That just feels, this one's a healer affix for sure. The affixes that were removed were Quaking. Quaking was annoying sometimes. Grievous, healers hated that. Volcanic, I never had an issue with. Volcanic was chill. We got another new affix here. Afflicted. While in combat, afflicted souls appear that seek the aid of players. Afflicted souls spawn with poison, curse, and disease afflictions. Removing any of them or restoring the spirit to full health cause it to despawn. Fail to remove. That's another healer affix right there. And then entangling, this one isn't as bad as it looked because of the picture. But it's just like a root that will slow you, and then you run out, and then you break it, and then you're good. And then they made explosive different. I hate explosive. I personally hate explosive. It's not what I don't like it at all, but they're doing something with it. You can test all that stuff right now on the PTR if you want to get into that. They're looking for feedback on keystone combinations. Here's the level 4. Spiteful, Sanguine, Bursting, Bolstering, Raging. So they seem happy with these. And now the 7 ones are Incorporeal, Afflicted, Entangling, Explosive, Storming. Okay. So I'm glad you can't get any of these with each other. Alright? That's good. I still hate Explosive. Sanguine I hate. Bursting is a nothing thing now. I don't care about Bolstering. Spiteful is terrifying. Raging out. But yeah, that's my M+ opinions. Amazing feedback. Alright, cross-faction guilds. People who've been enjoying cross-faction instances now have the ability to join the same guild as their opposite faction friends and benefit from convenience like share chat and guild repairs. We read about that. Guilds are still affiliated with either the Horde or the Alliance depending on the faction of the guild leader. Guild achievements, guild vendors, for example, will still reflect the guild's primary faction. Opposite faction members may benefit from unlocked shared perks, but may be unable to contribute to certain achievements. I.e., we would not expect Alliance members of the Horde Guild to be able to contribute progress towards the Alliance Slayer. Okay, that makes sense. This is our first step of potentially several in publicly testing this long-awaited feature, so keep an eye out for updates, and we look forward to your experience. Alright, so that's going to be interesting when it comes out live. So be prepared for that when this patch goes live. So then we got the new upgrade system. I haven't done a video talking about this, and I'm going to delve more into it in its own video. But to sum it up, because I don't think y'all really want me to read all this, especially if I'm going to do a whole video on it. We're going to have a new upgrade system that allows raid gear. Pretty much every gear is going to be upgradable using one currency, and for the one currency to fill the upgrade essentially, and then one currency, the flight stones will be what you use to fill. Flight stones are essentially the valor, whereas Shadowflame crests are essentially like kind of like a primal infusion. They unlock the level. So to go from heroic gear to mythic item level, you need a crest. But from the beginning heroic level raid, like so how the first boss has a lower item level, you can upgrade all the way up to the normal heroic levels with just flight stones. You don't need the crest, from the way I understand it. And it's going to include PvP gear, crafted gear, or there are 3 categories of gear that are not part of the system. Crafted gear is not. Crafted gear works the same way it has been. PvP gear will continue to work the way it's done. And oh my god, okay, so I was wrong. I should have read through this. This is why I need to do this own video. So heroic gear is upgradable. Okay, so there are 3 categories of gear that are not part of the system. The first is gear, crafted gear, which will be upgraded using recrafting, much as the same it's done now. The other kind of gear not included in this upgrade system is PvP gear. PvP gear will continue to work as the way it did in Dragonflight Season 1, which is good. People have enjoyed it. They're keeping that. The final kind of gear not available for these upgrades is the very top end of gear. Anything that is an item level comparable to a mythic raid isn't going to be upgradable. If you want the very best gear and to get into the Hall of Fame for the new raid, you'll still need to earn gear from drops the same as you do now. Alright. So that's pretty cool though. World Quest gear, heroic gear, mythic plus gear, all work in this new system. So that's going to be good. But yeah, I'm going to have a video of this on when I want to actually test this so I could show how it works. So sorry for the incorrect info that I had to start. That's why I need to like continue to do more research in this. But that new system is coming in 10.1. Alright, so characters. 4 new eye colors and 5 new hairstyles for Nightborn. That's good. Hopefully they're gonna add some more here in one of these side patches for some of the races. Or we'll see. I know people have been asking for some more for a while. New Worgen racial, Calm the Wolf. It's essentially the Worgen version of the Drakthir racial ability that lets them auto-convert. So that's pretty cool for people that want that. For Worgen players. And then here's all the... Okay, so this is the 2 sets. This is the tier gear that's being tested right now. And class stuff. If you want to actively see how your class feels, I would get on the PTR, copy character over, and try some of it yourself. So I'm not going to go through all these. You can access the patch notes through the post on the Battle.net launcher and go through this yourself. I'm not a druid expert. I don't have my druid leveled up, so I'm not going to begin to comment about this or read through this, because this would be just me like going through the motions, you know. But here, hold up, let me see. I play Havoc real quick. Let me see what I got. It's just adjustments to the tier that they're testing. Alright, and I've been playing Windwalker. I haven't tried the 2 set that much yet. Got some paladin changes. There is so there apparently, look, there's a lot of changes. Evoker's getting some changes here. Boomkin got some changes that look like up there. There's some paladin adjustments here. So one thing that is happening right now in the PTR is there's a big Shadow Priest, as you can see, rework going on. So Shadow Priest is getting a lot of rework. If you are a Shadow Priest, I would recommend, and if you care enough and you got time, I would recommend getting on there and trying something, putting in your 2 cents, and you know, give them the data they need so they can maybe adjust it, because it looks like there's doing a lot of stuff here with Shadow Priest. So Rogue, they look fine. Looks like Shaman's getting some stuff done. Oh my god, stop. Warlock, Warrior. So now we can get stuff I can talk about. So in the new zone, there's going to be 8 new glyphs. These glyphs come with new dragon riding traits. Alright, so if you've been playing the Forbidden Reach, you know you got the 2 extra ones on the little side there. So in 10.1 we get more 2 extra going the other way, and this is ground skimming. So the cool part about ground skimming is, so say you are unable to go fast, right? Through the Thrill of the Sky, you didn't have enough room to, say you only had 1 vigor and you go up, right? And you're like, crap, I can't get any more vigor through Thrill of the Sky. What you can do now is you use ground skimming to essentially give you Thrill of the Sky for going just above the ground, and like this wind effect will go on and you'll be able to get vigor like that. It's super cool, and I'm excited to get this one. The Aerial Halt, if you don't know the new one that we got in the Forbidden Reach, Aerial Halt is only really good for if you're mining, right? So if you're going from one ore to the next, you zoom over, hit your Aerial Halt, get your extra vigor, mine, get another vigor, and then you're set. So that's what Aerial Halt's used for. But ground skimming is super helpful and really cool in the cave. And there's new races and world quests available in the Zerala Cavern, and we get a new dragon riding mount, which is super good. Here's the PvP changes. If you're big in the PvP, which I'm not, you can check through that. There is a big change here for interrupt duration. Okay, so Skull Bash interrupt duration decreased to 3 seconds, was 4 seconds. So the below, I'm gonna read this. The below changes for interrupts are game-wide, not PvP specific. We feel that this change would have minimal impact in other content due to how creature spells are generally designed. So it shouldn't affect PvE much, but we'll have to see. As for most kicks that are spent on spells that have an inherent cooldowns longer than the interrupt duration. We will also be keeping extra consideration for these changes for seasonal dungeons. Alright. Alright, so hold on. So critical strike here, there's also more. So critical strikes will now deal 150% of base damage and healing in PvP combat, was 175%. So there is a lot of stuff going on with PvP here in the tuning. So interrupt duration. Alright, hold on, I'm trying to figure out. So, okay, so that's the lockout. The lockout from these interrupts is decreased, essentially, for PvP. And that's for everything, it looks like. That's interesting. I do not know how that's going to affect. And PvP crowd control effects are lowered too. So landslide route from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. They're essentially reducing the amount of time you are stunned in PvP. And let me tell you, in some solo shuffle games, you are just stunned and dead. You are just perma-stunned and dead. So hopefully this will help the casual PvPer base. The ones that suck. Alright, and don't know when to trinket. Or maybe you don't even have to suck to just get perma CC'd. And this is good for everyone. I'm not a big PvPer. I dabble. But this is definitely interesting. You can get on the PTR and test it if you are PvPing. Put in your feedback. And pay attention to the PvP people talking about this. You know. And see what they have to say. Classes. Alright, so it's more PvP stuff for classes. I can't begin to comment on this. So I'm just going to scroll through. Interesting. Alright, there's quite a bit going on. And I think it has something related to the big change. And how that stuff works. But it looks like they're doing a lot at the beginning of the season. So I'll have to see how it is. I know right now Paladin's big in PvP right now because of the changes. Alright, so professions. Optional reagents are available for upgrading items to the highest item level. Non-spark gear, Titan training matrix 5, we're getting that, and changed to well-clean Shadowflame crest. Okay, so the crest will apply to crafted gear. They are nerfing elemental lariats. Alright. Tooltip size for recipe unlearn has been increased. They also reduced the size of the crafting. No, maybe that was in the current patch. Players can now purchase Crest of Honor and Trophy of Conquest from PvP Quartermasters and are used as optional reagents when crafting armor and accessories to give it the PvP scaling. That's cool. You can give crafted gear PvP scaling. That's super cool. Okay, last season, Crimson Combatant recipes can now be purchased in the Gladiator's Refuge. That's good for transmog. Shadowlands scaled items can now be disenchanted in Chromie time. Okay, that's good. Herb nodes have been placed in Zarla caverns. Mining, fishing, and skinning will be coming in future. Okay. Okay, that's just talking about the PTR there. Oh yeah, they added an option to so you can now shrink your professions tab too. Alright, and they're adding new recipes here. Hell Steel. I have to check out the profession stuff. This is going to be a video on its own as I go through. Engineers actually have more skill up treasures for once now. Inscription's getting a lot, it looks like. But yeah, so these are some of the new recipes. I want to get in there and try some of those. Quests. Researchers under fire scenario. Oh, that's cool. So, interesting. So that's a new event going on down there. Because remember, these are patch notes for the PTR as well. Public objectives is a 5 to 10 minute publicly credited bonus objective. Players will make all progress towards it completion together for the reward. Public objectives appear as stars on the Zarla cavern map. Stars appear 30 seconds before public objectives become. So these are like public, like big old public rares. Interesting. Or events. I should check that out. So you got the sniff and seeking. I may be doing videos on each of these as I test them on the PTR. So this is the snail quest for the cool new snail that you've seen in my mount video, if you've seen that. Several new side quests are now available. So new quests 10.1, you know. They're allowing talent loadouts can now be linked to chat through the share menu. Updated special resource art and animations for the following classes: Arcane Mage, Death Knight, Pharaoh, Druid, Windwalker, Paladin, Rogue, and Warlock. Updated experience and reputation gain animations and effects. A consistency pass has been done on all scroll bars and art and functionality. Okay, so these are just like a lot of fixes and updates. Oh yeah, there's a new legendary quest icon. And then Loam Niffin's at the top. Yeah, I've seen that on the thing. Cast bar now has an option to show the cast time. That's cool. Minimap size can now be adjusted. The looking for group eye has been added to the micro menu frame and its size can be adjusted. That's nice. Raid frames will now show more buffs depending on the size of the frame. Frames can no longer drag other elements. So they're updating the edit mode. Experience and reputation bars have been renamed to a more generic status bar 1 and 2 and will still be labeled experience bar for leveling characters. Add a slash command for accessing edit mode. Slash edit mode. Pet frame can now be moved separately from the player frame. That's cool. Edit mode menu has been reorganized with separate options now hidden under advanced options. Visibility toggle of the buff and debuff frames have been combined into one checkbox, but their functionality remains the same. Counter bar will stay visible if it's already shown when entering edit mode. The raid frame menu now has a shortcut button that opens raid frames. Settings and interface options. You can now snap frames to the corner of other frames. Thank goodness, dude. Quest tracker now has the option to enable dark background. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah. Add an option to disable chat. Thank goodness. Oh my god. Added a keyboard option to stop ongoing text-to-speech. Interface and raid frame sections now shows a preview of your raid frames display. A hover state has been added to all options so you can easily tell which line you're looking at. The graphics quality section has been reorganized into tabs. The auto self-cast and self-cast key settings have been combined into a single drop-down. That's good. Each action bar now has its own keybind section that appears if the action bar is enabled as if they were previously grouped together. Mousing over a keybind row will now highlight the corresponding action bar and vice versa. Options new to 10.1 be marked with the new tag. Dude. As someone who uses the base UI, this is a big deal to me. But for people who already use stuff, I guess that doesn't matter. But update your add-ons or be ready to, you know, be ready for the patch, man. May 2nd. I'm excited. Everything looks good to me. I've been having a good time on the PTR. Dragonflight has been going great for me. I've been enjoying what I've been playing so far. Forbidden Reach has been great. Season 1, I finished. I'm looking forward to Season 2. And I'm looking forward to 10.1. And expect more 10.1 videos coming out of me as I do more PTR stuff, since more of it is finalized. And then come May 2nd, I'm going to be streaming a lot of 10.1 and doing everything in those caverns legit on live instead of going to be deleted on the beta. But I will be, not beta, I keep saying beta, but the PTR. All the stuff I do on the PTR, I do for fun. But when I do it on live, I do it for the full achievement score. That's what I like to see, like my Keymaster. But anyways, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.